Hi, everybody. Let's see if we're on. Okay, it looks like we are live. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Can't believe it's already Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great week and that everything in your world is going well. I'm just going to give it a second here so that Facebook will let me access the comments so I can see you guys. If you're live, please say hello, drop me a little comment and say hi so that I can say hi back. That would be lovely. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. I want to talk about this idea of running your business from the inside out today. It's something that if you've been in my world for a little while, you've heard me say before. I've done several live streams on this topic or related to this topic. If you've been in my world, you've certainly heard me say it around pretty much almost any topic. I kind of use it interchangeably with run your business on your own damn terms. They're a little bit different, but they go together really beautifully. And for me, it's a key value, to use some old corporate terms, of mine in how I run my business, but in also how I coach my clients. So it's a value that is important enough to me in my business that I teach it to my clients. And it's important for me. Okay, I'm going to jump in. It's important for me that I work with clients who share this value or are down with, adopting this value or this way of looking at things, because it's my style. It's not just my style. I obviously did not make this up, but it's just the way that I refer to how I run my business. So I'm just going to check here, see if I can see myself. So this is how I run my business. I run my business from the inside out, and I do it on my own terms. And that's really, really, really important to me. And so we are on. Part of what I want to talk to you about today is a little bit of what do I mean by run your business on your own damn terms, run your business from the inside out. Because as I said, I feel like this is something that I say a lot, and you may have heard me say it before, but I don't always spend a lot of time talking about what I really mean. So I want to dive into some of these things. Some of these are not, most of this is not rocket science. Most of this is not new information. Who is out there really talking about new information, first of all? But I think it's something that it's a value, it's a way of life, it's a way of business, it's a way of being that I think for me has become a practice. And for me has become something that I notice as my business grows and scales, as I can, like if I were to look back at, I don't even know how long I've been in business now, 3 years, 4 years. If I were to look back at all of those years, I could probably pinpoint on a timeline the milestones in which I took this concept to a deeper level. I learned a different lesson around this concept. I applied this concept or this value or whatever you want to call it in a new way. And I think that running a business that's heart-centered, that's mission-driven, which is hopefully everybody here in this group, it's a different way of running a business just by the virtue of the fact that you've created something out of your own heart and put something out into the world for us to benefit from. Hopefully it's something that you benefit from too and are fulfilled by. But by the nature of setting up a business like this, I find that it's not just a business journey, it's an epic personal growth journey. Epic personal growth journey, because starting a business pokes at all of your insecurities, pokes at all of the things that are really hard for you, all the things that lessons you've already learned, lessons you're in the process of learning. I can't tell you how many things have popped up for me in running my business that I've said, oh my God, like, hello, I thought I resolved that years ago in therapy, or I thought I resolved that after I, ended that relationship or left that job or did this thing. I thought I resolved that for myself. And here it comes. Running a business presents you with opportunities, annoying and beautiful, to keep learning these things at another level, at a deeper level, in another way. And so that's a little bit what I'm talking about today. So let's talk first off about the way that, for me, let's start first with running your business on your own damn terms. What that means to me when I say that, the way that I mean it, if you're live, say hi. The way that I mean that is that you can, and this beginning of this sentence that I'm getting ready to say is something that I see with my clients and something that I have constantly had to work on myself and also keep working on. Getting down this concept that you have permission to, you are allowed to, it is possible, however you want to start this sentence, to run a business that in the way that you want, that brings you fulfillment, that brings you money, that brings you your definition of success or fulfillment or good money. To work with the clients that you want to work with, to work with the people that you want to work with, to have a team of the type of people that you want to be with, to do your work on your own damn terms, and to still have a profit, be successful, whatever that means to you, be fulfilled, not be frantic and hectic unless you like to be frantic and hectic. It is possible to run your business on your own damn terms. And I would argue as well, and this is not my idea, but I am a self-help junkie. You can create a life that you want as well. So same for business. Same for business. Now, does it mean that life and business are all rainbows and unicorns and cotton candy? No, sorry. Can you find peace in running a business? Can you find peace in your life? Yes. Can you find joy and fulfillment in running a business? Can you find it in your life? Yes. Can you find ease? I'm not saying that everything is easy, but can you find ways to interject ease into your business, into your life, where things aren't forced, things aren't so hard? It doesn't mean that they're not like emotionally or mentally hard or challenging, or an opportunity to grow, but where the hardness for me, when I think of the opposite of ease, it's like force. It doesn't feel right. It's awkward, right? You do not have to run your business that way. It's not to say you're going to love every aspect of your business, but you can find peace, fulfillment, joy, satisfaction, success, money, interesting clients, interesting work, interesting teammates, interesting interactions, interesting whatever it is that you want in your life and your business, you can have and you can create. It's not always happens like this, and it always doesn't happen exactly the way you mean to create it. Hi, Candace, welcome. Good to see you, my dear. But it's absolutely possible. And so if you disagree with me here, you may as well stop listening, because this is the basis for which I am creating the rest of this video that I'm going to have this conversation about. And if you disagree with me, cool. Or if you're like, I don't know, but can I? Then cool, that's great, because that's where the work is. That's where the work is for you. And I will be completely honest, this is something that I believed it at certain levels at different parts in my life. I've certainly believed this in one way, shape, or form. I believe that you create your own destiny. I believe that you create your own future. I don't believe personally, some people do. I don't believe that we have defined paths and futures in front of us. I think we have several options of how we can do things, and we create our own destiny. We create our own lives. And you can still believe in destiny and disagree with me, and still agree with me, I mean. But this concept of the fact that you have the ability, you are able to, you are allowed, it is possible to create your own life or business in a way that works for you, is something that I continue to realize. I continue to see on a different level. I continue to learn it over and over and over again, not in the same ways, but at new levels, new ways, new like definitions of this concept keep coming to me over the course of my life. And so I'm really passionate about it, as you can tell. If you have questions, if you're live, please drop me a line here. I will be happy to answer them as I'm talking this through today. If you're on the replay, please also drop a question or a comment here, and I will come back in and answer it. So we're starting off with just the idea or the concept that I'd like to present to you, to absorb in whatever way, shape, or form you want to, that you can create a life and business that you love in a way that feels good to you, in a way that you enjoy. I think life is meant to be enjoyed. I think we're here to learn and to love, and you can do that in your business too. I didn't used to believe that. I used to believe that in order to be a successful, independent, stand on my own 2 feet financially woman, single woman, I needed to make a certain amount of money, and the only way to do that was to work. And that usually meant, like, even if you liked part of your job, it usually meant, for me, something that you don't want to do. And for me, it was my corporate career. I did it in a way where I was intellectually stimulated by my work. And I worked with amazing people. I would never, ever, ever take back all that I learned. And I did enjoy a good bit of it. But it was a context in which I never fit in. It never aligned to my values. It never aligned to my pace and my style of being in this world. I had to force fit myself into my former career. And it was really, really tough on me. And I wouldn't recommend it. And yet I had to let go of believing that thought that, like, hard work is the only way you can get money, right? The only way that you can make money, one of my limiting beliefs was the only way you can make money is to do work that you don't love. If you want to do work you love, I got this from my mom, and it's not her fault. It just, I made meaning of my mother because my mom was a teacher, and my mom, didn't make a lot of money. So I thought, well, you could be like mom and make a difference in this world and do what your heart desires and what you're really, like, beautifully talented at, but you're not going to make a lot of money. And since I didn't get married in my 20s, I was like, well, shit, I got to go find something else to do. I can't do what my heart desires because I have to stand on my own 2 feet financially. So I decided that I needed to go into corporate in order to take care of myself. And so again, this is not about my little mama. This is about me and how I made meaning of things growing up. So I had to let go of that in order to even let go of corporate and move into creating my own business. And so this is something that, so I did believe it, and I had to keep accepting it and grabbing onto this belief system that I really do believe in. I have to keep going back to this over and over and over and over and over again, because every time you up level, every time you hit another income month, every time you, sign a higher level client, every time I do anything where my business expands in any way, shape, or form, I learn this at a different level every single time. Because you start to go, well, can I really farm this out? The conversation I've been having with my business coach, full disclosure, in the last couple of months is, well, shouldn't I be doing that? I already have a team. Should I really, like, hire more people on my team? Shouldn't I just be doing this? Is it really okay for me to take this work and give it to someone else? Is that really okay? This is something I coach my own clients around. And I still need coaching myself around it, because it's a big concept of, are you allowed? Can you really run your business the way that you want? Can you really have what you really want? Like, all the way, or at another step? And that's something that I challenge people on all the time. Oh, well, I have to do this. Do you really? Or do you choose to? Or do you decide that you don't realize that you have a choice. Okay, so I know that I'm going on a huge tangent here, but the vast majority of this conversation today is just understanding the concept of what does it mean to run your business from the inside out. And it begins with this concept that you can do whatever you want in your life and you can create whatever you want in your life. And I encourage you to notice the places in your life and in your business where you tell yourself something like, I can't, I wish, this won't work, this isn't possible, she can't, he won't, right? Those are opportunities. It's not to say that you need to flip them all the way. Like for me to say like, oh, well, that means I have to hire someone. No, I'm in the process of putting that together in my head, but I get to decide that, and I get to decide that I have permission to, and then I just decide if it's what I want. Then I just decide if it's right for my business. Then I just decide, right? Candace says it's all resonating. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you. So number one, you can create what you want. It's not formulaic. It's not magic, but you can create what you want in your business. That's what we're talking about here, but also in your life. Number two, how do you run your business from the inside out? What does it mean to run your business from the inside out? Well, if you can create whatever you want, running your business from the inside out really means, the way I speak of it, really means rather than, so I guess the opposite of running your business from the inside out, I don't know what you would call it, outside in, would be, okay, I'm a business. And so I see over here, these businesses are doing this strategically or marketing, for example. So I'm going to do that because I'm a business and they're a business. And so I should just do what they're going to do. And so now I set myself down and I create a business based on somebody else's model. And I'm going to do action steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I will have a successful business. That would be running your business from the outside in, I guess, or whatever the opposite of what I'm trying to say is. Not exactly anything wrong with that. I want to start off with that. And I prefer to coach my clients to run their business from the inside out. Number one, because it's possible, as we just talked about. But number two, because if you're listening to this, you're inside a group of people who are conscious entrepreneurs and creatives. And the people in this group, the vast majority of the people in this group have created or plan to create a business or have a creative career. Actors, artists, what have you, screenwriters, writers, have this career or this business or this thing they've created that is heart-centered, that is purpose-driven, mission-driven, a way to change the world, a way to put your own mark on it, a way to take your special, unique gifts and talents and put them out into the world for everyone's benefit. And also, again, hopefully that you get fulfillment in return. So when you have a business like this, which is different from, I'm going to go create 27 widgets and charge $1,000 each and makes $27,000. Different. Nothing wrong with that type of business, but that's not the type of business that we're here to do. Unless that is a heart-centered business for you because you're in love with your widget that you invented, right? But this isn't about people who have a good business idea. This is about people who put their heart and soul into the world and created a good business idea out of it, right? So if that's you, and hopefully that is you because you're in here, and if you can create a business that makes sense for you, that works for you, that you love, then how to run your business from the inside out is actually to start with who you are, who you serve, how you serve them, what's your business, what are your values, and knowing those at a really deep level, knowing yourself at a really deep level. One of my favorite things to teach my clients is meditation. And there's all different kinds of meditation. It doesn't have to be, sitting quietly like a monk and being still. It can be. But one of the beautiful things meditation does, there's a million other ways to do this, but one way that meditation helps you is it helps you tap into who you really are. It helps you tap into your higher knowing, your inner wisdom, your intuition, your higher self, whatever you want to call that. We all have it. It quiets the thinking mind and the, I'd like to say, earthly mind and the fear-based mind. And it allows us to just take a moment to connect to what is really true, to your true self, however you want to call that. And when you can tap into who you really are, and similarly to who you really serve, to what your business really does, what is its deep, I'm getting chills, like spiritual purpose. And you make business decisions and take business actions like creating a marketing strategy, creating a program, creating a business strategy, creating a business model, hiring a team, creating a collaboration with another business owner, whatever it is that you're doing that's action, it's done sort of second or third in the process. First is, I know who I am, I know who I serve, I know what I'm doing and why. And I am deeply, deeply, deeply connected to that. And from this very clear mind, from this very clear space, headspace, this is where I make all my business decisions. And then I choose a business strategy. Then I choose a marketing approach that makes sense for my business specifically. Because there's 9 million ways to market your businesses. There's 9 million ways to create a business model. Create one that works for you, that one makes sense logically for your business model, or if you need to create a business model, but create something, a business model or a business strategy or marketing strategy that makes sense for your business, but also that makes sense for the business owner. If you aren't good at technology, please don't start your business by setting up a funnel. Right? I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing at you, but I know so many people that are doing that. If you're not hiring somebody to help, you're already stepping into a space that is not your sweet spot. It's going to be really hard and really forceful. It's not the only way to do it. There's nothing wrong with funnels, but it's not for everyone. There's a million different ways to do it. Tap into who you are. Make good aligned business decisions from there. Then take action from that space. That's running your business from the inside out. Roz says, girl, that's the best advice I've received since I started. I'm so glad to hear it. I wish somebody had told me this. I really do. I really do. I probably could have been further along faster. But whatever, right? I do believe very deeply, and you said, I wish I'd heard this from the beginning. Yeah, me too. And I do believe very deeply that this, I'm gonna cry, this entrepreneurial journey, as I said, it's such an epic personal growth journey on top of like the obvious running a business part. And nobody told me that either until I'd been in business for a year. And I was like, oh yeah, it definitely is. I thought it was just me. I really thought it was just me. But I believe so much in the journey, just like the journey of life. Like you learn what you learn when you're meant to learn it and not a minute before. So cut yourself, all of us, I'm gonna cut my former self a whole fucking lot of slack. And just trust that we're learning what we need to learn in the right time. Because this is a beautiful learning journey. This is like, you're taking your personal growth to the next level just by starting a business. Just by starting a business, like putting up a business Facebook page or a very simple one-page website is a huge, I'm getting chills again. It's a huge up level as a person. I'm sorry, it really is. It's huge. Do not take anything for granted. Do not take any step in this process, whether you're at the very beginning or you've been in business for years and years and years. Every time you take another step along your journey, whether it's expanding your income, expanding your offerings, expanding your team, expanding your calendar, expanding anything that you expand, anything that you up level, which you're doing all the time throughout the life cycle of your business, whether you're scaling or just sustaining, it doesn't matter. You're always, just like life, you're always learning, you're always growing, you're always taking the next step. And so it just is what it is. Let's be grateful for it. Let's figure out ways to learn from it. And frankly, let's find ways to support each other. Okay. Roz says, yes, I feel like my insights have been taken out. I know, shifted and put back in since I've been on this journey. It's no joke. And Candace says, agreed. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Actually, that's kind of interesting because isn't that what happens when you have a C-section? I've never had children, but I think when you have a C-section, they like, sorry if this bothers you, feel free to leave me and come back in a minute. But like, don't they actually pull your organs out, get the baby out, and then stuff things back in, like repack the suitcase? Like, and isn't that what's happening when you birth a business? Don't you birth a business? Candace says, yes, it does, right? Like, isn't that what happens? You're right. Okay, thank you. Thank you, mamas. So, you know, you're birthing a freaking thing. It's a living thing. It's just not easy, guys. It's not easy. But I find for myself, and I coach my clients to do the same, that, oh, that's right, Roz, you're a nurse practitioner. I forgot. Yeah, I'm sure I used all the right technical language there. Now I'm laughing at myself. But when you're birthing something, there's no rules. There's no rules. So how do you run your business from the inside out? Oh, I wanted to say one more thing. Yeah. So number one, go within. Get really clear no matter where you are in the process. No matter where you are in the process, this is not just for new people. People always talk about like, oh, have a client avatar and like know who you serve and blah, blah, blah. And I'm here to tell you, like, I think that on the one hand, I think that exercise is overdone because if you feel like, oh, I know, but I still don't know all the way, I think it slows people down. Pick somebody to serve and serve them, and you will refine it as you go. You will know how you want to refine it as you go because you'll start to get people that don't fit what you really, really, really want. And just give yourself the opportunity to evolve that process. Kind of a side note. And I know I'm going to talk a little bit out of both sides of my mouth. And at some point, periodically throughout the life cycle of your business, it's important to stay tapped in to who you are, why you're special, whatever it is, or whatever it is that you do or provide is or produce is special, and who you give it to and why. The more you keep coming back to that main point, the easier, I swear to God, the easier it is to make good business decisions. And that's where most of this is coming from today. How do you run your business? You make good business decisions. That's the number one thing that I think people struggle with when they're running their business. And it's not to say people make bad decisions, but people struggle with making good decisions, with the decision-making process, with choosing a strategy, for example, and then changing it again 2 months later because it didn't work. Well, okay, but did you give it a minute to try to work? Or did you just change your mind and flip it, or decide that it didn't work quickly enough for your standards and your time tables, and so you're exhausted, you're going to move on to something else, right? The truth is any strategy will work. So you may as well pick a strategy that makes sense for your business and that makes sense for you and your personality, you and your gifts, you and the team or non-team that you have available to you, and then work it. And keep doing the mindset work around it. Work it and keep doing the mindset work around it. Every time you up level, this keeps happening. Okay. Candace says, never thought of it this way. So true. I was talking about the birthing piece. Yes, yes. Roz says, Laura, you're on point today with little fire emojis. Thank you. Okay, so using your inner knowing, tapping in. Oh, good, I've got time. Tapping in to your inner knowing. Okay, there's a million different ways to do this. If you're new to the spiritual path, or new to the conscious or intentional path of living, I encourage, or mindful way of living, whatever words you want to use, I encourage you to do some research in this area of tapping in to your intuition, to your true self, to your higher self. There are a million different ways. Find something that feels good to you. For some people, I know someone who is not highly spiritual, wouldn't define themselves as that. He's very heady, and very intellectual, very smart, and very rational, very logical. The way that he needs to think things through, the way that he needs to tap in is he goes for a run or a walk. Okay, so it's going to look a lot different than a monk, but the same thing is happening. Okay, so there are millions of different ways to tap in. Find what works for you. I'm going to throw out a bunch of examples. Exercise, I just explained. Meditation, I just explained. There's things like yoga, chanting. There's a lot of people who do energy work like Reiki. God, what else? Prayer. Various, and if you're interested in meditation or you hate meditation, I encourage you to look into different types of meditation, because there are walking meditations. There are all kinds of meditation. It's not the closed eyes monk meditation. That's a beautiful way of doing it. It's not the only way. There are so many different spiritual and less spiritual seeming ways to tap into your inner knowing. Everybody's different. One of my favorites. Who gets really, really good ideas in the shower? Come on, everybody. Something will just, or first thing in the morning when you're waking up, or last thing as you're going to sleep. Do you ever remember something you were supposed to do, you forgot to do? Or do you ever have a brilliant idea? Oh, I know how to solve that problem. A, it's because your subconscious mind was working on it all night. But B, when you move your brain to think about something else, when you quiet your mind, when you stop trying to force the issue, then it can come in. That's when the wisdom can come in, right? Have you ever lost your keys in your house? And what's the best? There's two good ways to actually find them. One is to fucking stop looking for them. You have to take a break. You have to stop looking for them and come back and look for them later, and go back to the same places that you checked before, because your mind probably just decided they weren't there, right? So you have to stop the whatever chaotic, there's a scientific term and it's not coming to me, but whatever the momentumous thought process is that you're going through when you're looking for your keys and you can't find them. And you're basically, by the way, telling yourself, I can't find my keys. Where are my keys? I can't find my keys. My keys are lost. I can't find my keys. Okay. So you can't find your keys, right? So you have to stop that and leave it and come back to it. If you're trying to remember somebody's name and you're like, I can't, the more you try, the more you're going to forget it. If you just stop thinking about it for a minute, usually it'll come in within the hour, right? There was another tangent I wanted to make here when you're looking for your keys. Yeah. So the point is, if you quiet your mind, or if you unfocus on the thing that the problem you're trying to solve, the decision you're trying to make, the whatever, or just anything, that's when the wisdom can come in. Same with the shower, right? Because it's sort of like your brain, my brain is just sort of all over the place. I'm thinking about nothing and I'm thinking about everything. La, 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 la. Oh, this is a really good idea. Okay, let me see these comments. Roz says, I think my gift is supposed to be around videos and lives, but I've kind of avoided it. Love it. You're actually, this is beautiful, because you're segueing into my, my next point. Candace says she does. I think I was talking about good ideas in the shower. I don't like the way I look and sound, but people love it. Yes. Okay. Okay. So number one, find a way to tap in to the truth, to universal energy, to who you are, to who you serve, to the energy of your business. It's one of the ways that I love to do it, is to tap into the energy of my business. Tap in and make decisions from this space. This is a space where even if you I'm going to use my funnel example. Let's say you do a meditation, just to be really, really simple about it. And you get this brilliant idea. and it feels very calm and very clear and very true and very right. And there's just like a sensation in your body. That's the other thing. Your body will speak to you. Many people get their tapping in, get their wisdom from their bodies and from their relationship with their bodies. Not everyone, but very many times your body will tell you. So learn to develop that relationship, that part of your intuition. But let's say, you know, you're trying to choose a marketing strategy, and you go through a meditation and you feel just very good and peaceful about moving forward with a funnel. And then you come out of your meditation and you're like, okay, I don't know how to do a funnel, but I feel like it'll be fine. I'm just prepared and ready to figure it out. I will figure it out. I will hire someone. I will go through a program. I will download some training, whatever it is, right? I'll call my friend who has XYZ skill and we'll put it together with my ABC skill, and together that feels good. And maybe you don't know how, but you just know that this is your next step. Does that make sense? You don't even have to know all the plans and the like 20-year plan, or even like how long it's going to take you to get it live and like what it's going to look like. But just making that decision from that calm space. And again, it doesn't have to be meditation. Making that decision from a calm, intuitive, wise space is always best. And what I find so interesting is like so many people who I work with are intuitive, are tapped in, are know how to make life decisions in this way, but they don't know how to make business decisions in this way. And I do find that for most people, it is a little different, because oftentimes it's like a more practical thing, right? But I mean, from who I'm dating to where I'm living to what work I'm doing, I am intuitively making my own decisions, and I'm going with my gut. I'm going with my intuition, right? And I've had to work that muscle a little differently for my business. Same. And for some people, that's not the case. But same for most of my clients. It's like, for some reason, it's a good place where you'll like allow yourself to second guess yourself. Especially if you've never run a business before. Then you're like, oh, well, I have no experience. I don't know what I'm doing. I better not listen to that, right? So I just think it's important to tap in, find a way to tap in and make good decisions from there. That's running your business from the inside out. And then 2 other recommendations I have. So there's 3 around how to run your business from the inside out. Number 1, tap in, make decisions from there. Everybody has this part of you, this ability. It's the part of you that tells you, you know, when you found the right person to be dating or marrying or whatever. It's when you know if you decide you want children, or I just adopted a pet. I knew when I met this dog, I had no plan to get a dog, but I knew when I met this dog that I was meant to be with this dog. Okay. Pets, humans, where to live, where to work. You get this just kind of calm knowing. And sometimes when it's missing, that's where we make bad decisions. That's where we spin in indecision, because we're waiting for that, lightning bolt knowing to hit us. But it's there. Everybody has it. And I guarantee you have it, because if you started this business, it came from that place. Your decision to create this business came from that place. So you have it. Okay. So number 1, tap in, make good decisions from there. Number 2, once you've done that, then you can sort of say, I'm going to finish this funnel example. Then you can kind of go, okay, I've decided to move forward with creating a funnel for my business. Now, when maybe let's say that funnel, Roz, includes a video that you have to make, that you decide that you're going to make, not that you have to, that you decide you're going to make, and you're like, oh shit. Well, then that means I have to be on video. Yeah, okay, I know that was a good idea that I had yesterday when I had my magical meditation. But now the execution of this is scary. I'm not sure I want to be that visible, right? Whatever it is that you're afraid of, I'm just using your example, Roz. That's when you know where the mindset work is. Okay. Because if you had said, oh, well, you know, my friend Susie has this business similar to mine and she has a funnel. So the fact that I don't really want to do a funnel, or I feel weird about a funnel, I don't feel like I understand what funnels are. Maybe I should do some mindset work on it and force myself to do a funnel, right? Mindset work ideally comes, and I know this is a little bit hard and tricky, and this is why I love working with coaches and why I love being a coach. I always have a coach. I have my own coach. But mindset work is best done from the place where you already know you've made a clear decision. Now, for example, now it's just, okay, but it's scary, so I need to work on that mindset piece, right? Then it's not about the decision. It's not about the strategy you chose. And that's why it's important to make these business decisions. This example, right? This marketing strategy decision came from a place of clear knowing, not from a place of, well, I'm kind of afraid of video, so I'm going to just only do graphics, even though I know I'm really good at it. But I'm kind of afraid, so that's going to be my thing, right? I'm going to run my business from the inside out because I know myself, right? That's not what I mean, right? So I'm going to make a decision from a clear space of knowing. And it's not always this linear, by the way. I'm going to make a decision from a clear space of knowing. And then if it feels a little wonk, if it's like, but am I allowed to do that? Oh, but is it okay if? Then you know that's when you know there's some mindset work to be done. There's always mindset work to be done. But oftentimes I see people doing mindset work on the wrong thing. And that's okay. You'll eventually get to the right place. But it does cause a slowdown. It does cause spins. It does cause indecision. It does cause people to spend 2 or 3 months developing a funnel and then walking out, right? I don't know why funnel is my example today. So 2 kinds of examples of mindset work. There are a million, but 2 kinds that I notice is the one I just gave you. I chose a strategy from a place of knowing, but now it feels scary to execute, right? I didn't choose my strategy because I'm copying somebody else's model, and I'm being really sort of quippy when I say that. But if I choose a strategy that works for me, if you don't want to be, by the way, on Facebook Live, you can run a successful business without being on Facebook Live. Don't let somebody tell you there is only one way or that you have to do A, B, and C. I know people who don't have websites who are wildly successful. Okay? I'm not suggesting it, but it works for them. You go do you. Just like life, I always love to use this example. My sister has 2 amazing children, a dog, and a very long-term husband. And she's happy. I am single. I have long-term relationships. I've never been married. I don't have children. Until last week, I didn't even have a dog. And I travel a lot and I move around a lot. Neither one of us would be happy in each other's lives. And both of us are very happy in our lives. So if someone had told her that she needed to travel more and start a new business and have cats, and she did that, and she would wonder why she wasn't happy, right? It's really not any different with business strategy. It's really not. There is a lid for every pot. There's a lifestyle for every person. There's a business strategy for every business. And it doesn't have to be created from scratch. There are a million out there. You don't have to make up your own. You can go out there and find them. But it is important to find something that works for you because you're going to have to execute it. Even if you have a team, you're going to have to execute it. So you may as well be lined up with it. And when you are, this is my third piece, mindset work. So that's one the choosing a strategy and then noticing that the mindset is, ooh, that's really scary. Okay, I have some mindset work to do. So that's one good example. Another good example of where mindset work comes in this process of running your business from the inside out is that every time you expand or you take on something new or you add a new team member or you hit a new income level, there's probably something in there that needs a little help to keep it smoother, to keep it running, to keep it easier. And here's my hint. When you're up leveling your business, when you're scaling, when you hit another level and another level and another level, I guarantee you, in part, the mindset work that you need to do at this level is the same mindset work you had to do a year ago at 3 levels down. Again, it's not about stair steps, but bear with me, right? For ease of speaking. So often we hit the same mindset challenges because we're here to learn some lessons at a really deep level. So that's one of my like secret hints about mindset work. If you're up leveling and up leveling and up leveling, I guarantee you at some point in each of those 3 points, you were dealing with some of the very same mindset issues, just at a different level. So those are 2 mindset examples. So start with making a clear decision from a clear head. There's a million different ways to get a clear head. I gave you a couple examples, but getting a clear head, sometimes that's working with a coach. Sometimes it's having a business bestie and talking things out, right? Actually, on our last live, somebody raised their hand and said they were looking for somebody to bounce ideas around with, and several people popped up. So anytime you want to make a connection in this group, I highly encourage you to. This is a great place to collaborate with people, to get, to get buddies to help you, etc. So once you make your decision from that clear space, then you can say, okay, what's between me and getting there? Well, I got some mindset issues around A, B, and C. Great. Now you know what they are, and you can work the mindset issue in the right way and be more efficient about it. Okay. And then you take aligned action. That's the number 3 piece. And again, I'm acting like this is a formulaic, chronological process, linear process. It's not exactly. But I think it's helpful to think about it in this way. When you take action, when you choose and execute your strategy, when you hire someone to help you create that funnel, when you sit down to put the copy together for your website, whatever it is, let that action be aligned backwards to what you already did. I made a clear decision. I did some mindset work to like clean things up so that I can stay focused on that clear decision, on the why, on the mission, on the whatever. And then the action is actually the easy part because it's just so like obvious, right? If I'm going to make a grocery list, if I'm going to make a recipe for dinner tonight, I decide I'm going to make pasta. Then I write down my I know that because I haven't had pasta in a while. I really kind of want pasta. Okay. I've made my decision from a clear place. I know that actually I need some carbs because I was diving this weekend. Okay, great. So I've made a clear decision from knowing me, knowing what I need. I'm choosing pasta. Okay, pasta. Now, all I have to do is just go to the grocery store and grab the pasta that I want and make the thing. The action isn't actually hard because I made my decision from a clear place. I know that's a super simplified example, but running a business doesn't have to be that much more complicated. So often we rush to action without making the decision from a clear-headed space. The action is a lot harder, you guys, when it's not aligned. Because you end up doing the have-tos and the shouldas and the so-and-so did it, so I'm gonna do it. Or, oh, I gotta do this today. No, you don't. Find something that works for you. Find something that works for you. And then that action, aligned action, is simply moving forward on what you've already decided. And sometimes that aligned action piece is also like, okay, now I need to put together a plan for and figure out how I'm going to execute this funnel. Maybe I need to talk to people who have funnels. Maybe I need to decide if I'm going to create it or if I'm going to hire someone to create it, right? Then you start stepping in, but that's still aligned action. That's just even doing that research is aligned action. And then you're not going back to fuck, should I have not done a funnel? You've already made that decision. Now, of course, you might go through the process and go, oh, I didn't realize funnels are actually very complicated. I didn't realize all that was involved in that. I don't have the money to hire someone. I definitely don't have the skills to do it myself. And now it doesn't sound like a good idea for me anymore. So I'm going to go back and make a good decision. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's great. That's beautiful. That's the way that you're supposed to make decisions. And oftentimes I talk about trusting yourself to make a decision. And I like to think about it like this. I trust myself to make a good decision for my business. I also trust myself to know in the future, if this decision no longer makes sense, that I will know and change course accordingly. It's no different. It's not actually changing your mind. You're more educated now. You're more informed. And you're always making the right decision for your business in the moment. And you can trust yourself then to make the right decision for your business in the moment. Let me know how this is resonating. If you're live or on the replay, this is something that's so near and dear to my heart. And it's just kind of funny because it's a phrase, run your business from the inside out, or run your business on your own damn terms. And I feel like at surface level, people kind of know what I mean. But as you can see from today's conversation, I've talked about this for 53 minutes. It is something that has so many beautiful levels and opportunities to it. And I think when you get frazzled, when you're stressed out about a decision, when you're in indecision, or when you're doing something and it doesn't feel right, it's really okay, and it's actually desirable, and it's actually really efficient to go back to the drawing board, so to speak, and get a clear head about your decision first. Get clear about what's the right thing for you. That oftentimes takes more time than the execution of whatever it is you decide, because that's how important it is. I think it's actually, in many cases, people spend more time making the decisions than they do executing them. Because once you make the decision and it's clear and it's aligned and it's intentional and it makes sense, then it's like almost like all the obstacles just pop out of your way and you just go and do it. That's running your business from the inside out. It's not easy. I don't mean to pretend like it's magical. It can include magic. I like to feel that my business has a lot of magic in it. But it's something that I think is important to allow yourself to really think about. Where is it in my business that I'm running it from the inside out? And where is it, could I add an opportunity to take a minute with something, tap into my real and true knowing, and make a clear, peaceful decision where I trust myself to just move forward in whatever path I choose for this particular thing. Where in my business, where in my life can I run it from the inside out? And where can I give myself permission to go get that clear head, even if I've already started taking action? And this isn't about pulling you back into indecision, right? But can you see the difference between that I know and like, yeah, I think this is, okay, I think this is what I should do. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. It's just a different energy. And it's also okay, I like to say this too, it's also okay to experiment. It's also okay to not know everything in the moment. In fact, that's most of the time how things work anyway. You don't know everything. You don't know everything before you get started. You find it out as you go. So give yourself permission to make a good decision for you. Give yourself permission to do it your way. Not the way Susie does it, who has a business like yours, but the way that works for you, your skills, your personality, your resources, your time, your lifestyle, your business model. Do what works for you. You have permission. Okay, my dears, thank you for listening. Thank you for participating, those of you who are live. Candace says, I'm so thankful I'm here with you today. Much needed message being heard. Thank you, Laura. You're so welcome. I'm so glad you were here too. I am live every Wednesday at this time. I will see you again next week. If you have a topic that you want me to cover, please let me know and I will put it in the hopper. I'm always open to that. I am still doing a few more free sessions. So if you are looking, if you're struggling with something, if something got piqued while I was talking and you need some help running your business from the inside out, making a decision, what have you, or anything else that's going on in your business, whether it's practical, strategic, mindset, spiritual, energetic, I am here. I'm an intuitive business coach and I work both sides, the practical and the mindset and spiritual side of running a business. So take me up on it. I've got a few free sessions left for the summer. And I'd love to give you a free session and get you unstuck, out of indecision, moving forward, or make a decision or get some clarity. That's my gift to you. So feel free to take me up on that. I will see you next Wednesday. Have a lovely day. Thanks so much. Enjoy. Bye, guys.